The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on. He
missed the complete that. He's crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield before. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
The race, most likely to be a championship changer, brings the Premier Racing League to the biggest and baddest track on the oval side of SimRacing, Talladega Superspeedway. From the very beginning, 48 years ago, this track has stood apart from the others. Through the speeds for drivers that they never raced at before, to now for hold your breath pack racing with these trucks and rules create. The most thrilling finishes and the biggest upsets in NASCAR history have all come at these high banks. What will today bring? Will Talladega be a scary trick, or will it be a champagne-flavored treat? Hello everybody, and welcome to the Global Sim Racing channel for round 34 of the Premier Racing League Pool Supply Truck Series. I'm Tanner Sharp, and alongside me in the booth is Mr. Sean Ambrose. Behind the scenes, we've got Joe Peak sitting in the director's chair, and our camera sets, as always, are provided by Dougie Beard. Sean, many sim racing drivers and real-world drivers say that Talladega is the game changer when it comes to the run for the championship. What can you tell the race fans about our track this evening, and why is it so unpredictable?
Well, first let's talk about this track just a little bit here, okay? When this track opened in 1969, they first called it the Alabama International Speedway. It wasn't actually until 1989 that they changed it to Talladega Superspeedway, a name that's obviously stuck. So here we go. Now, Talladega was here. Buddy Baker was the first person to drive a stock car on a closed course at more than 200 miles per hour. That was back in March 24th of 1970. He broke that barrier, turned a lap of 200.447 miles per hour in a Dodge Daytona, shattering a barrier once thought back then as impossible to reach. Now, since it first opened in '69, Talladega has produced first-time NASCAR Premier Series winners, 10 of them. Only 4 of those 10 have gone on to win another race in NASCAR's top level. They were Davey Allison, Kenny Schrader, Brad Keselowski, and Brian Vickers. Now, it's hard to even fathom this today, but on April 30th, back in '87, Bill Elliott, awesome Bill from Dawsonville, set the all-time fastest pole lap in NASCAR history. He qualified that number 9 Ford, the Coors Ford, at 212.809 miles per hour. But later that weekend, Bobby Allison actually had a really bad accident. It sent his car into the catch fence, a pretty horrifying crash. Since then, obviously, NASCAR put those restrictor plates on, and that record has never been challenged since. So we won't see that record fall this evening in the trucks. But what we will see is a death-defying 2.66 mile track with 33 degrees of banking that this field this evening will have to manage. They'll be drafting. Right now we've got 23 trucks registered for the event tonight. They'll be drafting, be 2x2 pretty much all the way around. Yes, occasionally they'll go 3 wide. Occasionally they'll even try 4 wide. Those situations usually don't work out. So I think 2x2 racing is a lot of what you'll see here at the very unpredictable Talladega Motor Speedway, where we generally wait for the big one, Tanner. Maybe not tonight.
Maybe, but just listening to your statistical track information right there, Sean, just made me nervous, and I'm just up here in the booth with you. So we'll have to see what today is going to bring today at Dega, but let's talk about the drivers that will be performing out there in this restrictor plate racing. Let's talk about the points there, Sean. Who we got?
Yeah, well, hey, listen, the standings here through the season standings right now are very tight because you've got Brian Yazik, who's been up there for most of the season by himself, unopposed. A late season charge here by James Grula, kind of getting his truck program together, though, has helped tremendously. He's now just 5 points behind. Tyler Dalton not out of this picture. A couple of wins for Tyler Dalton, elusive wins for Tyler Dalton, as he has just not been able to get to victory lane enough to make a difference. Now, he can get one or two of these down the stretch. He could find himself in this picture with James and Brian, should they falter just a bit. Again, this is a crapshoot here at Talladega tonight, so we'll keep an eye on that. Jeff Ward, Jeff Gow, all in a close fight there. Rick Thompson, Travis McQuistion have their own little battle going on. Tim Johnson, you got to go a little further down the list. Maybe John Wilco can catch him. The question right now is, can Don Runkle Jr. stay in the top 10? I think he's got a chance tonight. Don Runkle could do himself a lot of good by getting a finish in the top 10 this evening. Let's look at the fall standings real quick and see where everybody's at in the fall segment. Now, it's a little different over here. Jeff Ward got a late start on his season. He has dominated the fall with 10 I'm sorry, not 10 wins. I'm trying to remember how many wins he's had in the fall series. But right now in the fall series, with all the wins that he's had, and he has shown up. He originally wasn't going to be here this evening, but he's here now. So Jeff has set himself there on top. James Krahula just behind by 10. Yazik there, 13 points back. Tyler Dalton, 25 points back. Those four right now really in a heated battle as we come down the stretch here. Derek Paulson, John Wilco, Stephen Herring, and Jeff Gow. You know what? It's kind of a toss-up where they wind up now. That 5th back through 8th spot. The Rodden boys back there in 9th and 10th. And they've got their own little battle going on, only separated by 7 points. So good things to come here tonight. We'll have to see how things work out. I'm looking to see if the Rodden guys are here. They are. Justin out on track right now, and a lot of these drivers coming out to get their qualifying in. This qualifying session only 10 minutes. You've got that time to get 2 fast laps in, and we see some drivers coming around now to complete their first laps. That second lap probably going to be a little bit faster.
Yeah, and speaking of fast laps here at a track like Talladega, Sean, would it really matter, in your opinion, on where you qualify out there? I know there's going to be some drivers that are going to want to hang out in the back, or some of them want to race as well, but would you prefer to start up front, or would you prefer to start in the back and just hang out in the back?
I think the only thing qualifying matters for this evening is capturing the MP3 Designs Pole Award, and I really think that's the only reason it's important here at Talladega this evening. Honestly, where you start in this race, not nearly as important as where you find yourself at the end of it. Now, that being said, man, you know what? I'd rather start out in the clean air by myself and try and break away from those turkeys behind me and stay out of the mess. Best way to stay out of trouble, stay ahead of it. If you value that, then yeah, put your truck up front, put it on the pole, put it on that first or second row somewhere. But as we start to see a lot of these final times come in, Jeff Ryan with a really, really fast lap of 53.6. It does look like the mid 53s is where you're going to have to get if you want to take him down right now. And Cannon just comes around for his second lap, and James Krahula just completed his. James only able to get up to 53.7, so still have a few trucks out here on track, though, that can make a difference. There's Devin Cannon just finished up his. Jeff Gow still coming around. Jeff Ward, Ricky Harden. I think Gow just got his second one in, and that put him up to, it's 9th for Gow there. Gets up to 9th. Ward turns in his second lap. That gets him up to 7th, Tanner.
Absolutely, and a driver that I'm really going to keep an eye on as he's coming through the trial right now is Mr. Brian Yazik. He's got a 5-point gap for that championship top spot over James Krahula. James Krahula currently showing in the top 5 on qualification grid right now. Where does this put Brian Yazik? This might be his out lap right here. So this is his first lap. He is right now starting it right by the wall, hugging the outside line, and which, if in race conditions, can be one of the fastest lines on the corner exit there, Sean.
You know what? It really can be. And, what you want to do on a good qualifying lap is you want to start that truck up high near the wall and then basically work your way down one lane at a time, get as much speed wrapped up in that truck. And I will tell you, down around the bottom, that is the fastest way around. Remember, the shortest distance between 2 points, it is a straight line, but here the shortest distance is right down there on the yellow line. And I'm one of those drivers that a lot of people hate. I don't give up that bottom line. I'll ride it right down to the end, and if that means I finish fifth, then that means I finish fifth. But you're not taking my bottom line away from me in race conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you're in qualification time, as Yazik's on the bottom side of the racetrack right now, is always to try to keep your wheels straight as much as you can. The straighter you are, no matter if you're in the middle of the corner or not, you always want to try to keep the wheels as straight as possible, which means faster lap times. So so far, Brian Yazik's shown a 20th position, but that was around the high side. Really curious how much time he's really going to make up entering the bottom side of the racetrack. But how about maybe we can see a first-time winner here, Sean? So far, the virtual fans already stood up and cheered for the 88 to be on top of the board of Jeff Ryan. But could we see a first-time winner here today?
You know what? I think we very well could. Of course, as we talked about in the Open, this track is famous for first-time winners in both the real world and, yes, in the iRacing world as well. Let's face it, it shows up at the Carburetor Cup every third week, and lots of people getting on iRacing for the first time notched their first wins in the Carburetor Cup, running whether it be the trucks or the Cup cars. I guess this would be the Truck Cup Series for the Carburetor Cup. But yeah, man, you know what? I keep pulling for Tyler Dalton. He's going to be starting right now based on his qualifying time. Yazik just going up to second. Got that front row, but Dalton right now looking on the second row. Outside of that second row, Tyler Dalton could be my pick for a first-time winner tonight.
Ah, man, you got me flipping coins here, trying to figure out who I could, who could get the pole, because qualification's not entirely over just yet. We got about less than 3 minutes to go here at Talladega for the NP3 Designs Pole Award. But, man, Talladega, this is such a crapshoot, like you said, and yeah. I'm really interested to see what kind of strategy is going to play out. I mean, it is 100% fuel load tonight. It's just who are you going to pair up with? How are you going to get down pit road? Because if you beat yourself on pit road, Sean, it can cost you a lot of time on the track.
Yeah, and that part of the qualifying strategy might be that you're looking for a pit box. Pit box is all the way down at the very end of pit road. That's the longest trip in, the longest trip down pit lane. If you maybe get you somewhere like 4 to 6, maybe even up to 8th, not a bad place. Let's go ahead and go to the pole award, because Scott Eckrich just went on it, and we've got to get to that here, Tanner. The MP3 Designs pole award going to Scott Eckrich tonight.
It definitely is. Congratulations to Scott Eckrich for reaching that MP3 Designs Pole Award tonight, starting on the front row. He's going to be the one leading them to the green flag here at Talladega. Oh, boy, now. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, we were watching him on the screen here, running this pole lap here, and he got it right where I talked about, down on that yellow line, drifts it out to the center. Probably could have been a little bit faster if he kept it down on there, but he's not turning his wheels here, keeping it straight, going down that back stretch. Into the final turn, he's going to glue it right to the yellow line there. Truck stays just stuck down there. Really, really nice, smooth trip along the bottom.
That is really smooth there, Sean. I mean, wow. I mean, that is as smooth as you can ever get it. And the smoother you are, the more you're not really turning that wheel, the more you're keeping them wheels as straight as possible. The faster you go, you can go below the apron right here, gain that extra momentum, which is legal. Coming off the tri-oval to gain that pole award.
All right. Congratulations, MP3 Designs.
All right, so before we get everything going for Green Flag Racing, let's go down trackside for the national anthem. We are about to get ready for some white knuckle stock car truck racing here at Talladega. So let's kind of get on the grid here, ready to go here, Sean. Fourth, Scott Eckrich getting the MP3 Designs Pole Award. He's going to start first. Second place is going to be the 88 truck of Jeff Ryan.
Go to row 2. It's going to be Brian Put It Out Yazik and Tommy Ryan, the Carolina driver there, in fourth.
There's your boy right there, Sean. Tyler Dalton. Hopefully he can get it done today at Dega. He's going to round out in 5th. And Randy Yoakum going to round out in 6th.
All right. And the man from Texas, just fresh back from the State Fair of Texas, James Krahola starting 7th. Tim Johnston, another Carolina driver, going to start 8th tonight.
Ricky Harden's going to start in 9th. And Jeff Ward, who's won majority of the races in the Truck Series this season, he's going to round out the top 10.
All right, and go to row 6. Devin Cannon on the inside. Travis McQuistion will be starting on the outside in number 93.
Norm Pelletier will start in 13th, and Jeff Go will round out 14th.
Okay, we got a row 6. Calvin Filarski and Devin Paulson.
Justin Rodden's going to start in 17th, and Snoop Doggy Dog Don Runkle Jr. in 18th.
All right, row 10. Billy Tungate and John Rodden.
21st, the last driver to take the qualification time is going to be Andrew Jones. John Wilco in 22nd, and Stephen Herring, who's chasing for a top 10 spot in points. He's going after Don Runkle today. Have to keep an eye on him. He's going to start tailing Charlie in 23rd. All right, Sean, here we go. The pace laps are starting to come in, and whenever you do pace laps at Talladega, do you get butterflies?
Yes, I do. I do. It's that moment you wonder, what have I got myself into? Was this a good choice? All kinds of thoughts racing through my head. What's the guy behind me going to do? What's the guy next to me going to do? Here at Talladega, your head's got to be on a swivel. You've got to be ready for anything to break loose, because when I get a run at you here, especially when you're left out there by yourself, when people behind get a run at you, they don't call it a freight train for nothing, because it will run you down in your tracks, and it will intimidate the best of these drivers. Sometimes you're along for the ride, and you just got to hang on here at Talladega. As they get down that back stretch there, they just passed over the back entrance to the speedway. They're going into turn 3. That's where all the motorhomes come into the track and get down into Talladega Boulevard, a hot spot, literally the hottest spot on the track, Talladega Boulevard. Maybe we'll get a chance to talk a little bit more about my escapades there in a bit here, Tanner.
Yeah, great views from them camping sites down there in the infield. But I tell you what, got to watch out for that lap 28 for the American Pool Supply Halfway Award. Hashtag the pool is clean for that lap 28 bonus point. Now we're coming down to take the green flag at Dega. All right, folks. I hope there's a seatbelt in your seat, because you're going to need it to watch this one today here at Talladega. Folks, glad to have you with us to watch the American Pool Supply Truck Series, the Alabama 150. 23 of the best in this series are ready to get it on here at Talladega. Side by side, entering turn number 1. Nobody thinking 3 wide just yet, but don't worry, we will go 3 wide eventually in this race. That bottom line down there is going to be led by Scott Eckrich, as he's getting a punt and push from, who's that down there, Mr. Brian Yazik.
Yeah, Yazik's nestled right up behind Eckrich there. A little bit of help, but both lines moving at the same speed right now as they head down the backstretch.
2 by 2 down that long back straightaway, entering turn number 3. Here comes that higher side of the racetrack. That is going to be led by Jeff Ryan. Can he come off the exit of the corner to lead the first lap? He's got Tommy Ryan looking towards the middle. He kind of thought about it, but coming to the line through the trial for the first time here at Talladega, and it looks like it's going to be led by Scott Eckrich.
Yeah, just barely. It's going to be led by Eckrich there. Good news at the back of the pack. Nobody's lost the draft yet. These guys need to get busy. There's 4 trucks that have slid back. It's John Rodden, Andrew Jones, Stephen Herring, and John Wilco starting to lose touch with the pack in front of them here. That's all right. They can work together just as 4 trucks if they want.
Down about 7 rows of 2 wide down the back straightaway. And it's just a matter of when that big one is definitely going to happen. So far, Scott Eckrich leading up towards the front here. Kind of seeing if anybody's going to make moves early here. Not really seeing any big moves coming right now from anybody. Everybody's just riding comfortably in line. Here comes Jeff Ryan on the high side of the racetrack through the tri-oval. Can he lead a lap? Looks like he's going to beat Eckrich to the line, so he will lead this lap this time by.
Tanner, they've got 55 laps to go. There's no reason to make a move yet. Be a little patient. Right now, though, one truck has lost the field. It's Billy Tungate kind of stuck in the middle right now. Back here, languishing in 19th place. He's got that pack of 4 right behind him. They're going to catch him here. And all 5 of those trucks should get up together and be able to catch this pack again if they work together.
Yeah, I would be on the radio right now kind of communicating to the drivers behind me. Let's ride in a single file and see if we can try to at least stay in the draft. These drivers are probably just hanging out back trying to stay out of trouble. But you just don't want to lose that lead pack. And that lead pack is still about 18 cars from first to 18th in that lead pack.
Yeah, and right now it's all about trying to keep this up and wait to see who blinks first. Got to be so careful when you're drafting. You don't want to give that shove when you hit the entry of the turn. You certainly don't want to give it when you're in the middle of the turn. But on these wide open straights, you definitely want to try and give that truck in front of you a little boost if you can.
I seen someone blink up towards the front, and that was the 6 of Tommy Ryan.
That's never good.
Yeah, never good whatsoever. Actually even calls a big one here at Talladega. Sometimes netcode can play a huge role in these restrictor plate racing that can really take a lot of drivers out, so hopefully the connection stays stable and we remain green. Scott Eckrich is holding down that bottom line on the bottom side of the racetrack. He's led majority of the laps so far, with the exception of one that was due to Jeff Ryan.
Okay, so we've had 5 laps in the draft. Okay, got to watch the gauges, guys. Got to make sure your truck is not heating up too much here. You'll see him step out a little bit. Yazik steps out up front already. Truck was getting a little hot, probably got it in there. Yazik going out to the outer lane, and he pulled right up in front of Jeff Ryan.
Yeah, that was a perfect opportunity for Brian Yazik to step out of line. Hey, I'm clear. I'm going to step on out just in case this thing blows up, if there was any kind of temperature issue. And right now he's out in clean air pretty much, where nobody's in front of him, but he's still trying to lead that higher side of the racetrack. So they're gaining some pretty good momentum right now. A big old heavy push from Jeff Ryan entering turn number 1. I don't think it's going to be enough to at least clear Scott Eckrich.
Boy, these guys doing a really, really good job here early. The pros can take a lesson from this. They are, I'll tell you what, they're doing a really good job. Everybody looks smooth. Not a lot of darting around all over the place. Everybody really able to hold their line here early. Tires won't ever be a factor here, really, at Talladega. It seems like you can get a really good run out of them for a long time. It'll be fuel that we're trying to get to here this evening. Probably going to need a couple of pit stops to get this one done tonight.
Ooh, man, I tell you what, a little swirly moment from Jeff Ryan on that higher side there. He got to that right rear quarter panel of Yazik, and you got to be careful like that, because that can actually turn the guy ahead of you right around if you're not hitting him square enough. And another thing we did not document was bump drafting in the middle of the corners. It seems like with this aero package of the trucks and the Xfinity cars, one slight tap can just turn somebody right around.
Boy, and I'm not sure what happened to Andrew Jones, but Andrew Jones has got damage on the front of his truck. See, you know what? There was trouble on the front straight, and we missed it. Looked like Andrew got caught up with... He did. Andrew got caught up with the 26 there, John Rodden. We've got it on the replay here. That was that gaggle of trucks that were stuck in the back. And you're going to see Rodden come down the track there. He makes that contact with the 59. Andrew Jones now in the pit. His second time in, that truck needing a lot of help. Boy, he hit it hard. It's at the back of the pack, and the caution does not trigger there.
Yeah, it does not trigger there. I want to say mainly to that there was like nobody else really in this pack, because that was a very small pack of cars right there, and these guys were well out of the lead pack. But nonetheless, it's no caution as Brian Yazik takes the lead off the high side of the racetrack. He's clear, but decides not to drop down in front of Eckert. Here comes Eckert right back in the middle of the corner. If he can get the good run off the edge of the corner, could be okay. So far, pretty dead even. Yazik led the lap last time by at the start-finish line. They're coming through the trial here. That trial is usually no friend to any driver here because it's kind of bumpy on the bottom side of the track. Who's that back there trying to go 3 wide there? That would be
Jeff Gow up on the top side, and he's actually got a nice run going there up the top side. He's able to pass trucks. Got himself right up next to the 8 there, Randy Oakham. He needs somebody to come with him. Maybe Devin Cannon. Here comes Devin Cannon on the top side.
That middle lane starting to check up just a little bit. And now Jeff Gow, he's trying to become the Pod Piper of the high side at Talladega. Right now he's only got 1 car sticking with him, and they're not really going places at this time.
That's all right. Just be patient. Stick with it. Stick with it. You will move on that top line. I like what Cannon and Gow are doing here. They're going to start to run. They'll move forward as long as Cannon can be a good draft partner to him.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty cool time to experiment to see what you can do here in a 3-wide scenario like this. So far, not much progress being made, but this is definitely a testing zone for Jeff Gow.
You saw Andrew Jones there at the bottom trying to get back on the track after his pit stop.
Yeah, he's got some pretty significant damage on that number 59 machine. Looks like that can really affect aerodynamics, because if you look on that 59 machine, his splitter is all bent out of shape. So that's aerodynamics right there.
Yeah, and we've got several trucks that have really started to lose the draft, and that's not good for them. John Rodden, one of those drivers, and it looks like who else there? Don Runkle falling back and has now lost the tail end of this draft. So those guys, Justin Rod and Don Runkle, they need to hurry up and get together here on track so they can go catch those guys again. But man, with every passing lap, it gets a little bit tougher to get back what you lost.
It definitely does, and it's really going to hurt Justin Rod and Don Runkle, because they are definitely not nose and tail right now. They've lost the lead pack. The lead pack used to consist of 18 cars. Now it's kind of shrunk down to 15 cars on the speedway right now. So hopefully Justin Rod and Don Runkle can get together and start forming a little bit of a pit strategy here. I do believe there's 1 pit stop in this race.
Okay, I do like what these 4 are doing back here, though. 18th back to 21st. We still got these 4 drivers hooked up: Paulson, Tungate, Herring, and Wilco. That's not where all the action is necessarily, but these 4 have elected to kind of hang back. They are, a full 15 seconds behind our leader. They're just working together, line astern, getting themselves around the track. Maybe they've got a pit strategy in mind here for the 4 of those trucks. Up front, though, the Yazik dropping back here through the pack, though, maybe trying to cool off a little bit.
Maybe just trying to cool off just a little bit. But he hooked up with somebody, and now he's stuck 3 wide, and that's the 89 machine of Jeff Ward, the winningest driver in this series. They're on the high side of the racetrack. There is some significant, or I shouldn't say significant, there is some damage to the back bumper of Jeff Ward, but obviously it's not really playing a role in his speed out there on the racetrack, as Yazik's still in the mix. Now they're double file back up, and here goes the outside row, as the inside row is kind of fading just a little bit, led by Jeff Ryan.
Yeah, I'm going to say that was probably Yazik's plan to finally get back with his teammate there in Jeff Ward. Those 2 will probably work best together. Yazik oddly driving a Chevrolet. He's a Ford guy, but if you've been on iRacing for a while, you know we don't have a Ford truck. So he is forced to drive the Chevrolet, but there they go through the middle. Devin Cannon going back up top, following somebody else back to the top side. He follows Tim Johnston, and now that's going to allow Jeff Ward and Brian Yazik to come up through that middle line.
Well, I'd say if I was Brian Yazik, I'd be a little crazy to be doing this, especially if you're contending for a championship. But he has no fear. He's going to come up through the field, as we're coming up on the number 92 car right here. That would be Jeff Gow. Once again, playing that outside row, but he has no drafting help, though, so he's going to go back until he follows a spot in line.
You know what? And I think Jeff thought he had some help coming, so he decided to step out of line. And what did that do? Well, it just allowed Brian Yazik and Jeff Ward to come up another spot on the outside line. So good for them, bad for Jeff, but he drops back and he gets back right in behind Devin Cannon. So for now, all good. He hasn't lost the draft, and obviously that's what you don't want to have happen here.
Championship contenders Brian Yazik and James Krahula in the top 10 right now. They're side by side on the racetrack, and they're in the mix of this battle up towards the front here, side by side. That time by, I believe it was Jeff Ryan beating Tommy Ryan by 4/100ths of a second.
The green and yellow truck that they passed, that was John Rodden. They get by him cleanly. Rodden now a lap down from the field.
Oh boy, a little squirmy in the middle of the pack. That was Devin Cannon right there. Got a little squirmy, almost touched the 56 of Norm Pelletier, but he regains his potential there. He's still running in that outside row back there. Still too wide for about 7 rows deep. My, oh my, 7, 8 rows deep. It's still just like how we took the green flag, Sean.
Yes, it is. It is. And unfortunately, we have had a casualty this evening. Andrew Jones has taken his truck behind the wall. Andrew got 6 laps in, and he is out, unfortunately. So tough break for him. But the rest of the field here up front. Oh, Devin Cannon had a really, really close moment back there. Just saved his truck. He got a little bit too close there to the 54. Tim Johnston almost hooked Tim, and he had to get out of the throttle. Now he's going to go up top by himself. Here comes Jeff Gow again. Look for Cannon and Gow to maybe work together a little bit here. They're going to try this again, take another stab at it. Now Cannon going to be in the lead.
Oh, Gow's in the wall.
And Gow gets in the wall.
That ain't good. Yeah, now he's going to lose that with that killed his momentum entering the corner like that, and he must have gotten a little tight. Now he's going to lose the lead draft, and right behind Jeff Gow, he might actually get a pickup from a lap car. That's John Rodden, and John Rodden actually has a pretty clean front end nose of the truck, so he could probably pick up a draft right there, and those two can draft together, use a lap car as a pick.
Yeah, that really killed Gow's momentum. He got a little too close to the sun there, and it upped and bit him, and that's a shame. He was up there in that pack racing for important positions, and now he finds himself back here having to work with a lap truck to try and help get him back to that pack. Unfortunately, that damage may have hurt his aero just enough that's going to be trouble for him. Up at the front, though, it's still a pretty tight field here, Tanner.
It's been tight, it's been nail-biting, it's been breathtaking up towards the front. We've seen some drivers go back and forth. We've seen that outside lane trying to get the lead many times to the line this time by. And did Tommy Ryan get him? No, he did not. 2/100ths of a second. Jeff Ryan beat Tommy Ryan by. Those two drivers sitting nice and easy up towards the front, get some nice easy pushes down the straightaway. Tommy Ryan's got a partner up there. That's number 8 of Randy Yoakum. Actually, Tommy Ryan's blinking right there. That's something you don't want to do at a restrictor plate race.
No, you don't. Be careful. Be careful. We should call this the American Pool Supply Ballet, because that's exactly what it looks like is going on out here. It's graceful watching him get around this track in unison like this, working together, and oh boy, and look at that Tommy Ryan dropping down there, trying to maybe get a little bit of side draft.
A little bit of side draft, and side draft does work here. It's just how effective it can be. Now, side drafting is if you can get to the quarter panel without making contact with another driver, that would slow the other driver down and slingshot you past. In this case, Tommy Ryan still operating that high side of the racetrack, and it can also slow down that inside row, but it also can mean net code, which means two drivers literally what the sim thinks you're touching, but you're literally not on screen. So that's something to keep in mind as well, because those net codes can be a nasty deal at Talladega and Daytona.
Boy, Jeff Gow, struggling, just came on the radio and said he's going to go ahead and pit. I think that damage a little bit too much to overcome. It's really got his aero off, and he's decided to go ahead and come on to the pit.
But he's got a drafting partner, though, John Rodden. He's going to come down with him, and John's only 1 lap down. So, I mean, if we do get a caution flag, he would be in contention for the Brutus Lucky Dog, Coastal Safety Auditor Lucky Dog Award. right now, back on pit road, those drivers, I do believe, are going to take at least 2 right side tires under green flag conditions. I can be wrong about that, but that's something that I would do personally. And it looks like 4 tire stop for these fellas right here on pit road. And here comes the race leaders. They're going to be coming off turn number 4 just right now, 2 by 2.
Yeah, they're going to get swallowed up.
Yeah, they're going to
unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, so those drivers are going to go a lap down.
Yeah, your pit delta is just under 40 seconds. They're getting around this track in just under 50 seconds, so they can't merge until the back stretch, which they're doing a good job. The field just going to race on by there. Just look at the back there of Tommy Ryan. Already drivers on track talking about switching spots. That means one thing. That means I'm hot. I need some help. So,
Aaron, man, these guys are carrying some legs.
That's Calvin Filarski gets turned around from behind.
He might come up on
Travis McQuistion caught him. And the caution flag does not come out.
Caution flag does not come out, and I don't think he even came onto the racetrack there, Sean. He did not. So that's not going to bring out a yellow.
Down here on the bottom, watch what happens. You see he's going to get that push there. Calvin's got that push. And that was not a good matchup of bumpers there, unfortunately.
No, that was, if anything, it maybe could have been a little bit of miscommunication because it looked like Calvin. Oh, go ahead.
He's still struggling. Calvin is still struggling getting around the track. He's spinning on the backstretch.
Trying to ease into that throttle with them tires. Those tires got to be a little bit worn now. That's very unfortunate for Calvin Filarski. We do remain green up front. It is Jeff Ryan and Tommy Ryan leading the pack side by side. Coming off of corner number 4, entering the trial over here as we're about to complete lap 22 of 57. And hey, guess what? We're about to reach that halfway point, and let's see how these guys really want that halfway award.
I'll tell you what. They're certainly thinking about it right now. These moves they make right now will determine who's going to get that. It will be won or lost off of turn 4. I can guarantee you that.
That would be the American Pool Supply Halfway Award, and right now these guys are really fighting. And look at that outside row, carrying some momentum off the exit of the corner, down the backstretch into turn number 3. Tommy Ryan leading that high line around, provided with Randy Yoakum and Brian Yazek on that higher side.
You know, I would like to say look for James Krahul to try and get this pole award, but, you know, that's the thing about Talladega, Daytona. You need help. You just can't make moves by yourself. You just can't automatically decide to turn the switch on and go to the front. It doesn't work that way. It certainly doesn't work that way in a fixed series. You are running a fixed setup on these trucks, so everybody with the same amount of horsepower, same setup. It's really up to the driver. The pack coming up on the lap truck now of Calvin Filarski. Calvin did not pit. He has abused those tires just a bit, though.
Yeah, he has abused those tires just a little bit, but he's going to have to try to fall in line as best as he can.
He's trying.
The lead pack is only consistent of 12 cars. Then you got to go about 6 seconds back to Travis McQuistion. So we're coming down to it here. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, watch out, Devin Cannon having trouble on the apron.
Oh, man, what a save, but he looks like he didn't lose a lot of speed. He's still going about 185 miles an hour. Got a little loose. I think he got those left side tires on that apron that just sucked the truck right around. Yeah, he did.
We're going on the replay right now. Devin Cannon there on the apron with that trouble. Let's go back live here real quick, though. James Krahula making a move on the top side, getting some help from his old buddy Ricky Harden.
Yeah, and
they moved to the top.
Oh, man, a lot of beating and banging, bumping here, man. This is going to get intense because we're coming to that halfway part, and here comes Krahula. 3 wide coming off turn number 4, 3 by 3 by 3. And those guys in the middle, I bet they're a little bit uncomfortable. That's like saying clowns to the left of me and jokers to my right. And here I am, Randy Yoakum in the middle, pushing Tommy Ryan, and you got Yazek on your back bumper. 3 wide in turn 1 again.
Boy, you almost got to wonder if James Krahula made that move too early to get this halfway award. He's in my favorite spot down there, though, on the yellow line. Ricky Harden getting a really nice push to the front, though, there up on the top side.
And that's my favorite spot right there because you're going to get them legs. You're going to get the momentum coming off the exit of the corner. And right now, 3 wide in turn 3. 3 by 3 by 3 out front for the top spot for that halfway award, the American Pool Supply halfway award. James Krahula leading that bottom now. He's clear all around. He's being pushed by Jeff Ryan down in the tri-oval. Now, what do you do here? Do you want to just stay consistent with that bottom line or go up and try to block that momentum on the high side?
Nope, I'm going to hang out. If I'm James, I'm going to hang out right where I'm at. Keep getting that push from the 88. Worry about the road in front of me. What's behind you does not matter.
Looks like that very high side's kind of disappearing now. Only two cars operating the third groove out by the wall. Everybody else is either middle or bottom side of the racetrack. And it just seems like there's more drivers in the middle side of the racetrack than there is the bottom. There goes Devin Cann once again. Ooh, man, he's been flirting with that apron a lot today.
He really has. Devin needs to be careful here. You know, Calvin Filarski got back into this group here and was able to hang on to the draft. He's given a little bit of help there to Tim Johnston on the top side, keeping him alive up there.
Oh, so close. And this will be the white flag lap for the halfway point, but we're going to stay green. There ain't going to be any kind of caution flags unless all these guys decide to wreck here. They've been flirting with that for quite a while when they started going 3 wide, but I tell you what, we're going to remain green here, and whoever comes into the line first this upcoming time by is going to get the American Pool Supply Award. Hashtag the pool is clean. Coming down in turn number 3, side by side. It is a challenge up for the front of Ricky Harden. Can he challenge James Krahula for that top spot? James Krahula got to the line last time by 1/100th of a second. Coming off turn number 4. And it's going to be side by side. This is going to be a close one. Hopefully this will be we'll see the checkered flag like this. But nonetheless, it's going to be James Krahula getting the American Pool Supply halfway bonus point award. Hashtag the pool is clean, and we're still 3 wide and side by side. What some great, phenomenal racing by all of these drivers.
Yeah, it's like I said earlier, sometimes you're just along for the ride. Tyler Dalton, one of those trucks that's along for the ride right now, he was almost breaking out of shape there, coming off at turn 2. Let's see how he holds on here in 3 of 4. Dalton, the number 19, down there on the very, very inside lane.
No, and then leading that halfway point, Sean, is huge for James Krahula because that's championship right there. He's up against Brian Yazik. And where's Brian Yazik right now? Well, he's on the very high side, drafting Tommy Ryan, who is leading the high line. Yazik in the 55, Tommy Ryan in the 6, and Ricky Harden stuck in the middle with all them clowns and jokers there side by side right there. I don't know if he would prefer to be there, but right now he's really got no choice but to hang there. Coming off turn number 2. So,
Randy Yoakum, Scott Eckridge back there doing a little bit banging, and Eckridge gets into Yoakum.
Did he save it off the wall though?
I'm gonna go back and look here real quick.
He missed it. Oh man.
Another incident there where we did not collect the caution. Yoakum spins down to the inside there, doesn't make any contact, does not come back up on the racing surface. Does not throw the caution. Hey.
That is some phenomenal racing by
Talladega, man.
Yep, definitely. That is phenomenal driving by Randy Yoakum now to avoid that inside wall. But right now, Yoakum's actually going to pit. But here's my question. As Brian Yazik takes the lead right now, and thanks to the drafting help of Tommy Ryan, they're going to go towards the inside. But here comes that outside row of Ricky Harden getting drafting help from the 54 of Tim Johnson. But my question is, are you guys? It's time to think pit stops. Who are you going to make a pit stop with? And you need a drafting partner. You don't need to be Mr. Lonely on pit road. When do you decide to make that move?
When you need to,
yeah.
When you've got 1 lap of fuel left,
yeah. And then
you just you don't want to give up position here. I think this entire group will probably go in together. What we should be looking at is what some of these groups towards the back.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to see if they have made their pit stops at the moment. Right now, they're still single file back here. Don Runkle's been back here along with Justin Rodden. These guys haven't formed their own pack. They've pretty much stayed out of trouble majority of the day, but I'm just curious. Right now, they're one lap down. They're trapped one lap down. So if there is a caution, only one of those drivers are going to get the lucky dog there. But Ricky Harden challenging for that top spot up towards the front. He's getting a nice punt and a push from Tim Johnston. And Harden's clear. Johnston's not. Let's stick with Johnson on the high side. So, and I think they're trying to clear and trying to get down in front of Yazik. So Harden's actually going to stay in front of Johnson there, and Yazik still operating on the bottom side of the racetrack, being pushed by Tommy Ryan and James Krahula down there. Scott Eckrich still in this mix. He was our NP3 Designs pole award driver, hanging in the top 10. Well, if you're going to make any kind... Oh, there goes Tim Johnson towards the inside now. He's going to try to drop in front, try to get the lead from Harden. Now, Harden's got a different drafting help there. That's from the 28 machine of Calvin Filarski. Now, keep in mind, Calvin Filarski is one lap down, but he doesn't really have any significant damage on that car. Maybe some worn tires, but it is not really affecting him. And this is probably a good move for Ricky Harden, since you're not really racing for the lead, and you're using the lap car as a pick. So... But driver that could probably use that lap car to try to get up front would be the 89 of Jeff Ward. And hey, here he comes. Jeff Ward is going to try to battle for the top spot.
Well, your top 16 trucks have not come in for a pit stop yet. So, right now what you've got is James calling out his team orders, calling out everybody that's pitting. Here they come. Unacceptable Racing coming down to take their pit stops now all together.
Oh, yep. And
that's a mess.
And that's a mess. And everybody's involved in this. And James Krahula, championship contender, is involved with this. Oh, man, all of them.
Can let me get this in. That's just unacceptable. That's going to make an unacceptable racing highlight video, I'm sure.
Man, a very unacceptable pit entrance right there. Everybody hot and heavy down pit road. It is a very hard thing to do, no doubt. Look at that.
I'm laughing with them because, trust me, I know they're all laughing. I know that's going to wind up in a highlight reel somewhere. Trust me, okay? That was just...
And you know all these drivers are going to laugh about this at one point or another, but...
yeah.
Harden's the one that took out the cone, and I do believe Ryan took out Krahula, and my goodness.
Jeez, poor guys.
Well, that's a very hard thing to do at Talladega, is to go from 190, 95 miles an hour to, 60 miles an hour at the pit road speed. That's a very hard thing to do.
So, leading the field around right now, I say leading the field, not leading the race, is Calvin Filarski at the point. Tim Johnston is our leader, right behind him, nestled in. So Calvin's done good work to stay with the field here. He has not pit. He does suffer, though, from right now being a lap down from the leaders. Now, he's at the tail end of the lap. He's not officially a lap down. He is on the lead lap. So right now, what Calvin needs... it's a caution flag. I don't know if he's going to get one.
I don't know if they're going to get one either, unless something majorly drastically happens from first all the way to sixth, because that would be because this pack right here is pretty much a 7-car pack, excuse me, because Calvin Filarski is a lap down, and these are the drivers on the lead lap, with the exception of Calvin, that have yet to pit. So everybody else has made a pit stop in one way, shape, or form or another. So it's just these guys up front, but I'm sure Yazik got word that unacceptable just did an unacceptable pit entrance.
You know what? One of our regular followers here in the YouTube chat, Josh the Bassist, says, cue the Benny Hill music. Man, I wish we were licensed to play it, because that does fit perfectly. Maybe the unacceptable guys will get it licensed and use it in their highlight video.
Oh, that is just classic. But I do got to point out other drivers that have yet to make a pit stop is John Wilco and Stephen Herring. Another driver, Calvin Filarski, in that lead pack that's up towards the front, has yet to make a pit stop. I'm sure he's going to work with somebody up there, up towards the front. Jeff Gow and them drivers and John Ryan actually made a pit stop about 17 laps ago, so they should be good to the end, but they're multiple laps down. So it's pretty much eyes up towards the front to see who's going to make a pit stop. Now, I'm just curious here, Sean, on with that unacceptable mistake down on the entrance of pit road, where is that really going to put them on the racetrack? Because obviously it's cost them a lot of time on the racetrack and put a lot of them a lap down.
Yeah, that's a big deal. I'm sorry, going to break away just a second, Jen. Wilco, Herring coming down together. Yeah, that's going to be tough for them to overcome because they lost the most important thing, time. You can't lose time here at Talladega. Time is your worst enemy at this track because the guys in the draft are gaining time constantly, and you get out of the draft, you're losing time. I don't want to be the master of the obvious, but that's what they lost, and that's what these leaders need to be aware of here is that they've got a chance to complete a perfect pit stop. That perfect pit stop will keep them in the lead easily.
Definitely has, and I'm currently showing 9 drivers right now only on the lead lap at the moment, and the leaders should be coming down pit road soon. We should see them coming down. Here goes Yazik towards the outside. Actually, Yazik is the race leader. That's Calvin Filarski out towards the front on the bottom, and now here comes Yazik getting a punt and push from the 54 machine of Tim Johnston. So Yazik's going to lead another lap here in Dega. But I've also learned on them pit road miscues is if you overdrive the pit box just by a slight little bit, it can mean 100 yards on the racetrack. So, I mean, obviously, that whole pit road miscue for them drivers really cost them time.
Eckrich made it really, really close right there when he came down in front of Filarski.
He did, but no harm, no foul, and that's actually a good thing. But right in front of Eckrich is Jeff Ward. Jeff Ward has won majority of American Pool Supply Truck Series races this season with 10. You were correct at the top of the show, Sean. He has notched up 10 victories.
Yes, sir, and in 17 races this season, 10. So think about that for a second. Now, I don't know if nobody's a clear favorite at Talladega ever.
Right.
But Jeff Ward certainly got himself in a good spot right now to make a run at the win tonight. Chasing his teammate up there.
Yeah, I can only imagine if Jeff Ward was really in contention of that championship. Oh man, and now all of a sudden he's running third here in Talladega. It'd be like, man, is this guy beatable anywhere? But nonetheless, Yazik's going to lead out of hard charger, all single file, which can indicate that they might be coming down pit road this time by Sean. They're not double filed up anymore.
I think you might have hit on something there, Tanner.
Yeah,
nobody's made the call. Nobody's made the call. They're going to stay out for another lap here. Only 16 of them left this time by.
Oh, believe me, there's probably drivers that had decided not to get on the radio and make a call and just kind of sneak their way down pit road to fool everybody else. I've seen that happen many times, and actually, I'm one of those drivers that do that.
Yeah, but when you're running in tight quarters like here at Talladega, you don't want to get run over. And you don't want to be the guy that wrecked the field because you made a last-minute decision to come to pit stop without warning anybody. So, here we go. And Brian Yazik making the call for all of his drivers.
All right, so we're going to see these guys coming off turn number 4 to go down pit road. And now, if I was one of these drivers, I would try to take the truck all the way to the inside wall. That way nobody runs you over. Is Jeff Ward one of those drivers? He certainly is. Nobody's around Jeff Ward. Oh, there goes Eckrich.
Eckrich is losing it. Cannon's losing it.
Ooh, yep, we got 2 cars.
And we still have no caution. We still have no caution. Eckrich back there spinning around in the grass. He's trying to recover. Surely there'll be a penalty for that.
That is very unfortunate. At least it wasn't a mess like the last time drivers tried hitting pit road, but those 2 drivers. The transition, the apron, and the flat there as Eckrich was braking, it looked like it caught him out a little bit, and it spins him around. It barely misses Cannon. Now they all race off the pit road.
Jeff Ward going to get out of there. First, Norm Pelletier hits Tim Johnston.
Man, I was right in front of Brian Yazik as well, and I do believe Yazik did take tires while a lot of other drivers took fuel only. Yazik, I believe, is on two tires stop right there. Man, that could have been big again.
Well, Jeff Ward, Brian Yazik, Norm Pelletier, Tim Johnston, and Tommy Ryan, Tyler Dalton, they all took 2 tires.
All right. Norm Pelletier, yeah, he must have had some heavy wheel spin getting out of the pits. And I know you want to try to get out of the pits as fast as you can, but you also got to watch out for the wheel spin, and that can really cost you a lot of time. And that accident didn't really happen on pit road. It happened on the exit of pit road. But hopefully you can pick up Mr. Brian Yazik, who's starting to get up the speed. He's only going 180 miles an hour. He was just passed by a bunch of drivers who are lapped down that were going about 190 miles an hour. So big speed difference right there. So this is huge for Yazik. Hopefully you can pick up that draft right ahead of him. And just behind him would be... who's that driver behind him again? Norm Pelletier.
All right, let's catch an eye on Tyler Dalton and Tommy Ryan. They just passed Tim Johnston. They're coming up through the field now. They're catching all these stragglers after that pit stop. Next one in front of them here, Norm Pelletier. They're going to cruise right past Norm. Norm's still trying to get up to speed after that pit stop.
They're picking them up right now, and that's actually a good strategy too, Sean, because you want to try to get as many cars together as you can, because the more cars you get together, the more speed you can create within the draft, the more you can utilize that draft much easier. So these guys are going to run single file on the bottom side of the racetrack, which is the quickest way around the track. Tim Johnson is going to get involved with this. He's going to try to get up to the back bumper, so this would develop into a 4-car track on the speedway. Now the biggest trying to see where the leaders are at.
Norm's going to get out of the way because he just came on the radio to let him know that he had some left front damage that he was dealing with. So he's going to let them get by, and then Norm's going to try and drop in behind him. Sorry about that, Tanner.
No problem whatsoever, and that's actually good information right there, because communication's always key when you're racing at Talladega. He gets out of the way. He's going to let those 3 cars do the best he can. There is some pretty significant damage on the front end nose of Norm Pelletier, especially the splitter, which is can affect your aerodynamics here. Now, where is the race leaders at? Jeff Ward is out front, and Yazik, actually, he doesn't really have a drafting partner.
Nope, he's about to... he's not going to have that position for long. Those boys are going to catch him. Ryan, Dalton, Johnston. And
all right, I do have to ask, where is our second championship contender, Mr. James Krahula? He is all the way back down in turn number 3.
Yeah.
And I don't know. These guys, in my opinion, they're going to need a caution.
Yeah, you know what? James, back there with Ricky, they're working together trying to recover from that horrible pit stop. But right now, our leader, Jeff Ward, getting help from Calvin Filarski getting around this track. Ward now is, 4.5 seconds ahead of Yazik. As long as he's got a partner back there helping him, boy, that's going to be really, really tough to overcome that.
Using a lap car as a pick, I like it. That's an awesome thing. If anything happens, Calvin Filarski would get the Coastal Safety Auditor's lucky dog, since he's directly behind the race leader and actually literally helping him out.
Trouble for Jeff Ryan trying to enter the pit here. He has trouble getting that car under braking. It's on replay here now. Jeff spins it going into the pit lane. Lucky to keep it down there in the grass, get it turned back around and into his box.
And getting on them brakes. That's actually the topic of the day. Is during the race today, is drivers just spin. That's where the most wrecks have been happening here at Talladega, is on the entrance of pit road. I've seen multiple of them so far. But Jeff Ward's got about a 5.5 second lead. Yazik's in the draft right now. He just got surpassed by Tommy Ryan and Tyler Dalton. That is for position on the speedway, so those guys really hooking up and going places right now. Yazik's getting hooked up with the 54 of Tim Johnston, so this is like a reminiscence of a 2-car tandem back in the heyday.
Now, I will tell you, Tommy Ryan and Tyler Dalton, they pit 14 laps ago. Okay, they came in a lot earlier than everybody else, and those cars are wound up. Plenty of heat in the tires, a lot of heat in the motors, and they are just flying. They are hooked up and flying. Yazik and Johnson are going to have a little bit of work to do if they want to mount a charge to get around them.
Yeah, it's going to be a very tough thing to do. They're going to have to stay single file and challenge them up towards the front, but the more they battle, the more they're going to let that number 89, Jeff Ward, to escape because he's being drafted to help. Oh, Kellen Filarski extremely loose on the front stretch. Had to back it off. Right now he saves it. Very good save, but that loses the drafting partner for Jeff Ward. But here comes Derek Paulson and the Billy Tungate. Yep. They're trying to get their laps back, actually. So they're going against the leader. They're not going to draft with the leader, because if they do, that would be a battle for the lucky dog on track.
Yeah, it's passing the 88 there, Jeff Reiner on the inside. Oh, boy, Tungate comes back down the track right in front of Jeff Ward, almost takes the nose off of that Chevrolet.
Oh, man, I tell you what, if that would have happened, I guarantee you it would have been fist flying in the virtual garage area. But right now, there was no harm, no foul between those two drivers. But Jeff Ward's actually in a decent pack full of drivers who are kind of pretty much up the speed.
Yeah.
But
I'm nervous if I'm Jeff Ward. I don't know that I want to be in this pack right now. I want to be at the front of it. I don't want to be in the middle of it. They're moving all over the place. Tungate looks like he's having trouble with the handle on that machine.
Tommy Ryan, Tyler Dalton gaining on the race leaders last time by hitting the start-finish line, came from a 7.5 seconds to now to 5.2 seconds, just in one lap. So that is huge on what happened up towards front where Jeff Ward is. He's in a bigger pack, but have to see if Dalton and Ryan can get him. I don't know if they can or not, but that would be huge for them guys if they can. But it's a long shot.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know if Jeff Ward's in the pack that he wants to be in right now, and it's hurting him because Ryan, Dalton, Yazik, and Johnson are catching him. So now here's the problem. Here's what works against those guys. We're running out of time. There's only 7 laps left to go in this race, so Jeff Ward just got to stay focused on keeping it clean and staying out of trouble. Keep a real close eye on what's going on in front of him here. I think he's worried less about Calvin Pilarski and a little more worried about Billy Tungate and Paulson right there in front of him.
4 seconds in gaining for Tommy Ryan. That's second on back. Tommy Ryan, Tyler Dalton, Brian Yazik, and Tim Johnston. And caution is out on the speedway.
Yep, Stephen Herring.
Stephen Herring, who was in contention for a top 10, I should say, in the championship standings. He would have beat out Don Runkle, but he's involved in this caution here. Get back on the replay here. Stephen Herring, number 98 machine. He actually just towed it down to the pits. We're going to get it up here on the replay.
He got a little bit of help.
Yeah, a lot of help.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the bump drafting here. You know, I mean, it's going to happen.
Who did you have help from? That was from John Wilco.
John Wilco, yeah, and you know, we just weren't matching up those bumpers quite correctly. And we get our first caution of the race.
And we will have a green flag racing again, because I know iRacing does not do green-white checkers, but it came out just in time to where we're going to go green at least one more time.
Yeah, and that's going to be well, you know what? Listen, with the way this race was shaping up, there was a chance for those guys to catch Ward, but I like this. I like the fact that we're going to get a chance here for basically it's going to be anybody's race to win here. We're going to get a lucky dog out of this.
Yes, we are.
It's going to be Calvin Filarski is going to get that lucky dog, I believe.
He definitely is. So congratulations to Calvin Filarski on getting the Coastal Safety Orders lucky dog with Brutus. Coastal Safety Orders, your one-stop shop for fire, life, and safety equipment.
Very good, Tanner. They're going to love that.
Thank you. But
good job, Brutus. Good dog.
Good dog. I'm a dog lover. Hopefully he's been fed a lot of beef jerky. Yes. So
Hey. Beef jerky is not good for the dog, man, okay?
It's not.
I have been around a dog who's had beef jerky before, and let me tell you, you want to talk about clearing a room. I'm just saying, man.
All right, Sean. Now we're going to be pretty much back where we started, except the roles have kind of reversed in a way. We don't see Scott Eckrich or Jeff Ryan up towards the front, but we're going to get the first restart of the evening. Nobody's going to pit because you can make it to the end. You're good on tires. Tire wear, not really too much of a factor. But we got Jeff Ward, Tommy Ryan, Tyler Dalton, and Brian Yazik, and Norm Pelletier, the top 5. This is going to be a very interesting, because I'm curious, as much battles we've seen today, I'm curious who's really going to come out on top.
And Brian Yazik doing his own little bit of commentary here in race, giving a shout out to Coastal Safety Auditors. Good job there, Brian.
I should have said put it out. I apologize, Brian. But that's okay. But nonetheless, this is going to be interesting.
The racing has been so intense, and I promised that I would tell some stories from Talladega Boulevard, and
oh yes,
I don't even know that I'm really going to get a chance. I'll tell one, okay? I'll give you one. All right, so this was probably 2001 or 2002. I can tell you that the memories get a little foggy from Talladega Boulevard, but I met Elvis on Talladega Boulevard. He was singing karaoke that night, and I got to bow to Elvis there on Talladega Boulevard, and he was quite the attraction that evening, but I wasn't going to let him steal the show. I decided to sing a little karaoke to myself to about, about 1,000 fans that were enjoying the beverages from the Boulevard. And I got to tell you, that was my moment, my 15 seconds of fame that Andy Warhol guaranteed me. It was that was a fun evening.
Wow, it had been a lot of partying that night. And
just a bit, yeah.
And we know about a lot of parties that happen in the Talladega infield throughout the years, especially around the October time, where everybody's kind of in the mood of celebrating Halloween and all that stuff. But I've heard some crazy stories. So
they actually at Talladega, I don't know if they still do this, but they used to just leave everything open in the middle of the night. In other words, you could get on the track if you want. If you and your friends want to take a walk around at 2.66 miles at 3 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, go right ahead. You're free and welcome to do so. You want to go out there and sit on the track for a little while and hang out with your friends, maybe have a couple of beverages, you could do that too. I was quite surprised at the amount of access that was available at Talladega. And the place is full of great memories for me. I also saw Ernie Irvan, and I know some people watching may remember this. I was standing on the backstretch when Ernie Irvan went airborne. I think that was 2001, going into turn 3, and you don't forget that. It's a vision that stays with me very vividly still to this day. Watching a car just leave the track, but not leave the track surface so much as just getting up in the air, and it was a wild day. It was a wild day, and thank God Ernie Irvan made it through that. But a lot of tense moments at Talladega every year. The ARCA races are some of the more fun ones to watch, actually. So if you've got a chance at Talladega, take one of those in too.
I had never had the opportunity to go down the Talladega, but I have my brother actually went down to Daytona one year for the 2009 Daytona 500, which got rained out, which is the sister track to Talladega. If any of you race fans out there that did not know that, or majority do, Daytona was built first, and eventually Talladega. Talladega's bigger, wider, and much faster. But a lot of wrecks here at Talladega, a lot of great memories just watching it on television. And I tell you what, we're making one today. The reason why we're making one today is because we're setting up for a fantastic finish. Jeff Ward leading the race right now, a caution he really did not want to see, even though despite Tommy Ryan, Tyler Dalton, Brian Yazik, and Norm Pelletier gaining on Jeff Ward, did not want to see the caution. So this is pretty much going to reset the field, and it's going to throw a Jeff Ryan, where he was surrounded by lap cars, it's going to throw him into about an 18-car lead pack. So that's going to be a scary moment for Jeff Ward. Mm-hmm. But question is, can he get win number 11 on the season, or can somebody play a spoiler? Can Brian Yazik get back to victory lane? He's going to restart 4th here, and I do believe we're getting a double filed up, ready to go here. Got to pay attention to the pace car lights here. We got them turned off, so that gives the drivers a signal of 1 to go next time by. So we're going to pretty much have a green-white checkered finish, technically, since we're going to take the green flag here. 2 laps, that's all you get.
19 trucks are going to have a chance at a win here at Talladega Superspeedway. Who's it going to be? It's anybody's guess. I still like my pick of Tyler Dalton. Could be a chance for him to pick up his first win.
Got to keep in mind as well as it brought a lot of unacceptable drivers back into the mix that had trouble, so they could probably erase that tape unless they want to keep it for a good laughing measure. Drivers like James Garhula and Ricky Hart that was involved into that ordeal. There's other drivers involved as well. Trying to remember who they all were, but nonetheless, those were the big names, especially James Garhula. That could have been big championship implication ordeals right there, but hey, this caution puts them back into the mix and a shot to win. If you're in the lead pack and you're up towards the front, you have a shot to win. But the problem is you only got 2 laps to do it. So it's either you're going to avoid the incident or somehow pulling a Dale Earnhardt coming from the back to the front in just a very short amount of laps. Who knows? But we got them butterflies rolling right now, turns 3 and 4, and we're about to take the green flag for the second time here at Talladega. Something you don't really hear every day there, Sean.
Yeah, for only the second time. This is going to be our first official restart this evening. It's going to be the last one, folks. We won't get a chance to restart this race. But the trucks look great right now coming here out of the final turn. Here we go, Tanner. It's all yours, buddy.
All right, coming off turn 4, folks, and like I said at the top of the show, folks, I hope you have some seatbelts in your recliners because this one's going to be an exciting one, and you're standing up for the exciting finish of the American Pool Supply Truck Series at Talladega. Who's going to take the checkers? Who's going to be involved in the accident? And it looks like Jeff Ward, probably not a very good idea to get a good start like that, even though it feels comfortable, but you're taking the green flag here, and these guys can get a big old run on you in the middle of the corner of 1 and 2 and probably attempt to pass you.
Dalton really getting that run early.
Oh, yep. Oh, throws the block, but he's got drafting help. Here comes Dalton off the high side in the number 19. Being drafting help by Tommy Ryan that's up there. And here's Brian Yazik helping out his teammate on the bottom. Look at that. But don't look back. There's a monstrous pack for pretty much 5th on back with 4 more drivers that nose a tail. Some drivers have some nose damage, and some, actually, a couple of them, those guys do. But it's a 2-car tandem to the race off the exit of the corner of turn 4. Coming down to the white flag, Sean.
It might be these 4. I don't know if that second pack's got enough legs to get to him. They've got Norm Pelletier in front. He's got some left front damage. Eckert's going to have to step out and get away if he wants to try and get any faster. Garhula just looks to be not fast enough. He's in a bad spot right there. That front pack, those 4, that looks like where your winner's going to come from right now. Ward's got the edge. Ooh, Dalton up the track a little bit. Maybe a little bit of contact with Yazik there.
Yeah, Dalton trying to do everything he can to slow down that inside row as much as he can. Here he goes. He's got legs entering turn number 3, but I think Ward and Yazik will have the advantage on the inside row. Nice, great pushing. Here comes the 3rd lane up there. Who is that on that 3rd lane? That red truck with the red splitter damage. That is Norm Pelletier. Can't really go anywhere with it, but coming off turn number 4, it is Dalton and Yazik being pushed by, it looks like their teammates, door to door through the tri-oval. Really bumpy, really slappy, door to door. They're spinning, they're wrecking, coming to the line. It's Dalton.
Dalton's going to get the win.
Oh, a huge Talladega wreck here. My goodness. That was huge, but I tell you what, Brian Yazik does get a top 5 spot along with Jeff Ward. Tommy Ryan in 2nd, but it's all Tyler Dalton, and he was actually sideways coming to the line there, Sean. Wow.
Congratulations, Tyler Dalton. Watch this replay here. We're just going to let it roll. Don't even say anything. Oh, boy.
Wow.
Yeah. Honestly, I think there was a little bit of side drafting going on there, and then they got kind of sucked into that side drafting, and that's what might have caused that. But boy,
the side drafting. Yeah, the side drafting wasn't working, so they had to start trading paint to try to slow each other down, and it turned out to be a fantastic Talladega finish. So congratulations to Tyler Dalton. But hey, do not go away because we got some driver interviews coming up with those top 3 drivers: Tyler Dalton, Tommy Ryan, and Jeff Ward when we get back from commercial break. Welcome back to Talladega Superspeedway for the Premier Racing League's American Pool Supply Truck Series of round 34 of the Alabama 150. As you just seen a thrilling finish here coming down to the wire, and those results is Tyler Dalton coming down with the win here. Tommy Ryan in second place tonight. Jeff Ward reckoned with his teammate Brian Yazek, but they still finished third and fourth respectively on track. Norm Pelletier rounding out that top five. Travis McQuestion is going to be finishing in sixth place tonight. Scott Eckrich, our pole sitter, MP3 Designs pole sitter, will finish in seventh. James Krahula in eighth place. He's got a little work to do to try to catch Brian Yazek, but I'm sure he'll get him in these upcoming races, which is going to be Martinsville next week. Justin Ron in ninth, and rounding out that top 10 is Devin Cannon. Sean, who you got outside the top 10?
All right, I've got Randy Oakham, the unfortunate victim there, will finish 11th. Don Runkle, tell you what, good race for Don. Not in the top 10, but he does finish 12th, up 6 spots. Ricky Harden, 13th. 14th going to go to John Wilco. Jeff Gow going to finish 15th, and Calvin Filarski held on for a long time to get back to the lead lap. He gets it there on that caution with the wave around. He'll finish 16th, and then it's going to be Tim Johnston in 17th, Billy Tungate 18th, 19th going to go to Derek Paulson, John Rodden 20th, and I'll take these last three here real quick. Jeff Ryan at 21st, Stephen Herring 22nd, and Andrew Jones was our first casualty tonight. Only 6 laps in, and he'll finish 23rd.
19 drivers on the lead lap, something you don't see very every day at Talladega, but other drivers were involved in some sort of incident. Hopefully they can rebound next week in Martinsville. All right, so let's talk to our race winner, Mr. Tyler Dalton. And Tyler, congratulations on the win first off, and that had been a wild coming to the checkered flag. Talk about the last lap.
Yeah, wow, that was amazing. I hate the fact that contact was made. From what I can see on the broadcast, I didn't really get to see a good look at the replay myself due to iRacing crashing, but it looks like there maybe was a little bit of netcode between me and the 55, because me and Jeff were just sort of rubbing through the tri-oval, and then next thing I know, my rear end goes flying around. So I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but I'll take it. That was a heck of a race.
It definitely was, and you were hanging around the mid-pack all day today. How breathtaking is it to be in them big old packs, especially when you're 3 wide here at Talladega, and what do you really got to do to try not to push the guy ahead of you to cause the big one?
Oh, I mean, it's definitely breathtaking, but had a bunch of teammates out there. You've got to have teammates working with you at Talladega. Now, that didn't necessarily go to plan as far as our pit road situation, but we got back out there, and me and Tommy got hooked together, and before the caution we were catching Jeff anyway. I think we were going to catch him and probably blow by him, but really didn't want to see that caution. But even so, the way things worked out, I mean, it just so happened I was able to get up in front of Tommy, and he was able to push me. I can't thank him enough.
Yes, absolutely, and that was very thrilling towards the end there, but now you're still third in the championship points. You did gain on the leaders, but not a whole lot, but I mean, this does give you another opportunity, because you do have a role going here in the American Pool Supply Truck Series. You finished in the top 5 the last 3 races, Iowa, Charlotte, and here you get the win today at Talladega, only leading 5 laps. How do you feel about your chances in getting another victory or a top 5 finish at Martinsville next week?
Well, Martinsville's not necessarily one of my better tracks, but we'll see how that goes. Looking forward to Atlanta for sure. One of my favorite tracks. But yeah, maybe if Brian and James both pretty much have the meteor land on them, I can get up there, but I think I'm pretty much stuck in third place in points right now. But so at this point on, we're just going to focus on trying to get wins. And I mean, that was a great race, and I definitely want to thank my sponsor, Kirkwood Transportation. Todd's been a big help as far as funding for the team.
All right, Tyler. Well, congratulations on the win. Hopefully, we'll let you go to celebrate with your team and enjoy this Talladega victory, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time, I do believe, in Rockingham Speedway.
Yeah, thanks, man. And I couldn't have done it without my teammates. I mean, Unacceptable Racing, best team there could possibly be to race around. just great guys.
That was Tyler Dalton, folks. We thank him for joining us tonight. But let's go one row down. Sean, you've caught up with the number 6 of Tommy Ryan, who was up towards the front majority of the day.
All right, I'm going to ask Tommy real quick to walk us through the unacceptable racing pit stop. You want to go walk us through that real quick, Tommy?
I could probably crash you through it. Yeah, we were not prepared. That was pretty embarrassing. We stepped all over each other's,
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. And Brian talks about that often, actually. Well, listen. Hey, when the season's over, it will provide great comedy to you guys because I know you're all lighthearted and you like to have fun. So I suggest making sure you guys get that in your highlight reel. But Tommy, let's talk about the racing. You guys pulled that off for basically what, I don't know, 52 laps, I think, running in that pack like that. Tell the folks out there who are not used to seeing that, or maybe not even have never even driven on iRacing, what is that like? Obviously, it must feel like a pressure cooker, but let's hear from someone who was actually in it.
It's not. I mean, once you've done this for a while, it's no different than probably on a 4 or 5 lane in downtown Atlanta or something. But you just pay attention who's around you, and you can see in your mirrors who's got the runs, and of course you got your normal spotter, and your teammates are talking to you and letting you know what's going on behind you and whatnot. But it can be nerve-wracking when people are moving from lane to lane and you're 3 wide, and sometimes you get stuck 4 wide every once in a while, and you just got to really understand that you can't follow the truck in front of you at all times. You have to hold your particular line, so you can't just be following guys around, because sometimes you'll go into turn 3 and it's kind of blind, and then they'll be moving to the bottom and you think they're just going through the corner. Next thing you know, you're coming down on the guy on the bottom because he was switching lanes, but you were trying to follow him. So it kind of gets your whole depth perception of what's going on can get a little weary, but you just got to really stay focused the whole way.
Yeah, and you know what, you said something right there, and certainly I've experienced this. You said blind. When you're right up on a guy's bumper like that, right off of his rear splitter there, you can't see anything.
Yeah, you really can't. All you can do, I'm fortunate enough to have a triple monitor, so I can see out both sides of my windows and whatnot, and kind of get an idea of what's going on. But it'll catch you off guard. A lot of times, it's kind of like, okay, are we still in the same lane together? Is he moving? It's you got to really be on top of it all the time.
And obviously, there's got to be a little bit of trust between you and the guy in front of you, right?
Oh yeah, man, it's so much easier when you got a teammate. Either you're pushing or he's pushing you. So you can kind of, because he can be kind of telling you, it's like, I think he's going to go down over here, and it kind of sets you up where you're paying a little more attention than you were the last couple of laps. But
and that's something you got to work at, because obviously this, I know this, a lot of people probably do. Not everybody is good at the pushing thing or being pushed. I think some guys specialize in being pushed, some specialize in doing the pushing. Very few actually do both really well.
Yeah, I mean, perfect example is like if I can get Ricky out in front of me, for some reason, I can push him a whole lot better than he pushes me for whatever reason. And, there's a couple of other teammates just like that. If I can get on their bumper, man, I can push them to the front just like I was helping Tyler there. And I don't know how it would have been with him behind me, but it's just chemistry or something. I don't know what the hell it is, but it just works better with some people for some reason.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's an exciting one to watch this evening. It's always exciting when we get to these super speedways, but you guys made it pretty special. You almost made it to the end without a caution flag, and that's pretty tough to do on a super speedway. So, Tommy, congratulations on a second place finish. And you know what? Listen, we'll see you next time, the next time we'll be with you is on Thursday for the Cup cars, but we'll see you in a couple weeks back here in the trucks as well. All right?
All right, man. Thanks a lot, and congrats to Tyler, and thanks for Billy putting on this with the American Pool Supply, and thanks to my sponsor, Northern Tool and Unacceptable Racing. We always work well together as long as we're not pitting. So we got to clean that crap up before Thursday. So we'll see you guys later.
All right, that is Tommy Ryan. Big win for him this evening, and or not big win, but big second place finish. A great job on his podium, and we appreciate talking to him. Tanner, it's I moved Tanner. Tanner, it's been a fun evening.
It's definitely. Yeah, it's definitely been a funny thing indeed. But what a great race overall here, Sean. Final thoughts before you start to wrap it up and head to a historical racetrack of Rockingham in 2 weeks.
Yeah, the Rock. Let's all be sure to be there so we can get our piece of it. I love that track. I hate that track. I have a lot of feelings about that track, but one thing's for sure, you don't want to miss it. It's going to be just as exciting as this one was tonight.
I love the history of the track, but I hate driving, so I'm in the same boat as you are. But hey, folks, come see us again for the American Pool Supply Truck Series on Sunday nights. Next we're live is November 5th at 9:05 p.m. Eastern, when the American Pool Truck Series takes it to the historic Rockingham Speedway for 148 laps. So that's going to be a very good one to watch here on the Global Sim Racing channel. We would like to thank the drivers and organizers of the Premier Racing League for coming here tonight and putting on such a tremendous show. Thanks for the companies that provide the software and hardware for our broadcasts listed here on your screen. Additional thanks to Eric Ekholm and Casey Lalonde who provide us with our wonderful music. See the screen for how you get a hold of their music and their great work. Thanks to the team today, Sean, Joe, Dougie. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, including upcoming races, you can find it at www.globalsimracingchannel.com, or you can check out our social media pages on Twitter at GSRC Channel or Facebook at Global Sim Racing Channel. We also have upcoming races for the other series listed on the screen, so check those out and mark them down on your calendar. Until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.